Hello and welcome everybody. It is time for the IBS semifinals. I am Thousand Eyes alongside Michael for tonight. And we have GSG Iota versus Galactic Warriors already into picks and bans for game one. And we are seeing some Alawi bans, some Yasuo bans, some things that, you kind of expect when you look at the level of IBS and what kind of champions usually dominate in that area.
And we're already seeing first pick covered, though not locked in yet. But honestly, I'm glad to see that Alawi pick from what we've been seeing so much. But we see what should be our two junglers locked in Diana, Viego, followed by a Lux for Galactic Warriors.
Yeah, Lux has been really, really prevalent in at least solo queue for support. She has so much range, so much damage she can pump out, but it does have that weakness of the just lack of tankiness in lane. So there is just a high risk, high reward here that Galactic Warriors are kind of opting into. It's still possible to flex that into the mid lane as well, but GSG, they are going all in. The Nautilus pickup, I can't imagine that's going anywhere but support.
Yeah, hopefully not, though. I wouldn't put it past some of these players, but I mean, we're getting... So Nautilus, I like Nautilus.
It's game one, dude. Chill.
Okay, it is game one, but also it's game one of the semifinals, so stakes are high. But maybe we don't want to get that spicy yet. But then to Tristana locked in, very aggressive bot lane that GW needs to be careful about.
Yeah, Tristana being locked in there, getting the explosive entrance in all shapes and forms there, and really forcing GSG to play aggressive in the bot lane early, and Galactic Warriors to basically have to play defensive and be ready for one hook to turn things really poorly. And that does mean that the Ezreal's going to be picked up, and I think that makes a lot of sense considering what you're already seeing out of GSG's composition.
Exactly, but what I'm looking at so far, we have both the jungler and bot lanes locked in for both these teams, assuming the Lux doesn't get shifted, but Stargazer does have the more games, so I'm guessing it's going there. But I want to see some more tankiness coming out for the side of GW. It's very much needed, especially with looking into a Nautilus, but GSG could also benefit from some, but we'll see how that plays out for the top sides of both these teams.
Yeah, as we are continuing through the ban, Sion being taken away, the menace of the top lane not going to be in the game one at least. Lilia also being taken off, as well as the Rumble. We'll see what GSG want to take away last here. What are you looking for either of these teams to really fill out what their composition is looking like so far?
GW needs a tank, for sure. They need something that is able to peel for their Lux and Ezreal. I mean, Ezreal is pretty mobile, so maybe not as heavily needed, but very squishy targets, and with the Diana and Nautilus and Tristana, all of these picks are ready to jump in. And the Seraphine, though not exactly what I was thinking of, does have some of that supportive capabilities and is a typical pick coming out from Liz Akita. So no surprises there, but still quite squishy for the side of GW.
And it's also essentially being picked blind here. You don't expect the Diana to be going mid lane, and even if it is, that doesn't seem like the greatest matchup for Seraphine.
Yeah,
as Diana will just jump pretty quickly onto her. So this is essentially a blind pick, and that does make things really scary. The Kled being locked in, GSG very clearly have a game plan they want to go for here, and they absolutely just want to go all in with it in more ways than one.
Ooh, and it does look like we're going to be seeing, I mean, I'd guess at least that we're going to be seeing the Kled go mid into the Seraphine. Very interesting, but I think Kled into some of these squishier picks definitely has a place in the mid lane, especially if piloted well.
So, I don't know. To me, this seems like a Nautilus jungle, Shen support.
Oh, yeah.
Diana mid, Kled top, just...
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that far into it, but you're probably right. But GW tripling down on it, going for even more shielding, and let's just hope that Viego can survive the dive and carry through this, because
this is a wild composition. It's how many supports can we put on a team realistically? You needed to pick Senna here, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like Galactic Warriors missing out on a little bit of the synergy there, but yeah, Galactic Warriors, in all seriousness, they're going for a team comp that is all about buffing up one of two people, really. Viego or Ezreal, they need to be able to pop off here And that doesn't seem like a realistic possibility to lean into when you have a front line that's as big as Kled, Shen, and Nautilus.
Yeah, it's very scary, and I think for GW, it needs to be some good positioning, and I think that. I mean, even if they're positioning well in fights, GSG doesn't have to opt into a fight with the globals they have. They have the Kled, they have the Shed. They can join into these from across the map, while GW needs to be clumped up and all together because none of these people are going to be split pushing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be difficult too because you're looking at if you're expecting the Kled mid. I mean, if you have two TPs here alongside a Shen ult as well, GSG can split really hard and still engage at a moment's notice. I feel like GSG's composition is just really, really terrifying. And Galactic Warriors just seems to be more focused on how long can we keep this fight going with all of these shields and utility that we can pump into our actual scary members on our team.
I'm trying to create the prediction. I'm just kidding. It's telling
No,
me
I already did it.
Oh, my bad. I had it sitting there, but I got. Well, get your votes in. Tell us who you think's gonna win. We're obviously just going.
I think it's already over. I think
What?
you might have missed it. Yeah,
bro. What? Okay, it's over then. Well, I hope you got your votes
get
in.
it. Well, get the getting while it's good.
I usually do it after the draft is done. Start it after then, so people all have the same information.
No, you can't. No, because here's the thing: you can't do it after the draft because then people already have an idea of what composition's gonna be good and what isn't.
But they have. Then everyone has that same information.
But it's all about how much how much do you believe in the team, not the compositions that they picked here. Come on now.
Well,
I'm not gonna bet on a basketball game after the first quarter.
Okay, but it's not the first quarter. It's you're seeing the draft laid out. I mean,
that's basically the first quarter.
Fair enough. But anyways, I hope you guys are happy with your votes now, seeing the predictions actually, or the picks actually in. And I mean, we already knew it was coming, but the Karma is officially top, though. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. But this is a very scary GSG comp, especially with how dominant they were in the regular season. I mean, going 9-1, 16-2 game record, plus 14. This is the first we're seeing of them in the playoffs, but they are a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
I mean, so I'm gonna ask the possibly difficult question to answer here. How does Galactic Warriors burn through this front line? Because there's not a lot that they can really do about that, it seems like.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be really hard, and they will need to try to force fights when there aren't ultimates available from either Kled or Shen. Force the misnumbered fight. You're obviously going to be clumped as 5. And if nothing else, you need to put priority towards this Ezreal. Get that Ezreal ahead, because if this Ezreal is behind, Viego can get as fed as you want, but you're not going to have enough damage in your team to actually do anything into the members of GSG.
Yeah, I think for Galactic Warriors, it's going to be really important that they use this range advantage that they have in the early game and really pressure that, get that kiting down early and often. Otherwise, GSG, they're going to scale up, they're going to be really strong, and it's not going to be a fun time here. Are there any lanes in particular that you're really going to be watching for, that you're expecting something interesting to be happening?
I mean, it's always going to be interesting when you see Kled in the mid lane. Only Magical Girls must be confident with the pick to be picking it in response to the Seraphine. And I mean, in the mid lane, you don't see that too often, but it has the opportunity to be very explosive. And then, I mean, even if Only Magical Girls isn't getting kills in lane, still has an ult to make something happen with Timic or even One Hand on the sides of the map.
Absolutely here. And I'm gonna have you call it right now. Based on this, who is your prediction for game 1?
I think it has to be GSG. It just has a much clearer path to victory, and the individual lanes are scary enough to where the ball comp of GW needs to play exceptionally well to even have a chance.
All right. Well, I think with that, during the spectator delay, we're going to take a quick break and get ready for this game, guys. Do not go anywhere. We are going to be back in just a moment with game one of the night. It's a best of 5. Winner goes to finals, and loser is going to be going home. So get ready for it, guys. And welcome back, everybody. We are into game 1, as we do have GSG Iota showing up as a unit, and already Stargazer looking to be in a little bit of a rough spot here. This does not look like a fun time.
And Stargazer,
That bind.
auto off and hits the wall, but Stargazer, very important that they got out there, because I've heard from my producer that as a player, they do not take flash, and that's ringing true this game, bringing ignite or exhaust teleport into the bot lane.
I mean, look, it's working so far.
I guess
Results-based analysis says that it's working. So
let's hope that they can teleport away from the Tristana and Nautilus in lane once they decide to engage, but we'll see that when it comes.
it also means you get back to lane faster if you die.
That's true.
Look, you always got to be thinking about the trade-offs here, Michael.
Very true.
Come on, you can. I know you can do better than this, buddy. As we are just gonna get outside of the flash burn on the Nautilus, we are just gonna get a pretty standard start as both junglers starting on the red side here and gonna be looking to path opposite of each other. Does open up opportunities here for both junglers to get ganks without dealing with any kind of counter gank potential.
I was watching on the map since we're on mid lane, but it looked very sketchy. I didn't think Viego was gonna get the red because it was kited so far, but luckily no buff resets this game. As we see, only Magical Girls having a little bit of a hard time just being level 1, but once they get level 2, should have a better go of it.
Yeah, it's definitely all about the level 2 there, as level 2 is going to get hit. Chubby Chernobyl looking for the hook, does get it onto the Ezreal, no shift, the exhaust will be burned, but another great hook. Lemon Warrior burns the heal, still goes down to the explosive charge, and Nerf Snugglebutt gets the first kill of the game.
Also, an important summoner to point out, Nerf Snugglebutt bringing the ignite, so able to cut through some of that heal and make sure that they actually secured the kill onto the Tristana. But already, I mean, we talked about this dive and how Ezreal needs to get ahead, and this is not that.
Yeah, it's not what you wanted to see in topside, though. Karma actually doing pretty solidly here. Shen, usually known for being able to trade pretty well, but against something like a Karma that can really keep her distance at all times, that's definitely not looking to be the same here. Is One Hand not enjoying his time up against this Karma in the top side.
Yeah, definitely gonna get bullied for a while, but hopefully we'll be able to impact the map at level 6. But Chubby Chernobyl getting some vision, scaring Ganondorf off of the Gromp. But now, looking like a 2v3.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a flash burn from Ganondorf. And that will be now a escape effort as a good bind, good poke as Lizakita is coming around. There's only Magical Girls getting the rope pull, trying to create space. Ganondorf is just out in no man's land. Don't even look at it. You don't need to see it. Okay, well, you maybe should try and look at the jump. Boy, looking at his feet.
Oh,
and
I also
tripping.
Didn't realize the Dark Harvest on the Seraphine, so trying to pump out a little bit more damage, but and on the Lux, so 2 Dark Harvests.
And first strike on the Ezreal.
Yeah.
Which has been at least a little bit out of the norm as of late. I know PTA has been pretty popular, and obviously, you know, Conqueror and Fleet Footwork have been kind of around as well. The first strike just has not been as popular with Ezreal since the rune has come out and been kind of figured out in the current state of the meta.
Oh, dangerous, but not taking much damage, and even walking up and trying to trade some more autos at the back end of it.
Yeah, it's not a fun time. Speaking of, One Hand now getting ganked up on the top side, trying to block out with the dodge zone on, but that's not the scary part. One Hand barely getting away up on the top side, and that's going to be a pretty successful gank, burning the flash on Timic and pushing this Diana a little bit further behind.
Only Magical Girls needs to be a bit careful. Dismounted, only half filled as Ganondorf is here.
Yeah, there is Ganondorf going in. Only Magical Girl's gonna get the rebound. Now going back in, has the Ignite on to Ganondorf. Gonna turn that one around. Now Lizakita needs to get away. She flashes. Only Magical Girls goes for the flash. Has the multi-hits there. Magical Girls needs to be so careful. He gets the kill with the shotgun, and Triumph saves the day. Only Magical Girls is absolutely insane as you need to be to play that champion.
Yeah, to play Kled and to play at mid, even with the auto onto the minion, still would come away with the kill. 2 of them. And that's just already with 2 kills onto the Tristana. Now the Kled's getting fed. This is not good for Galactic Warriors.
Yeah, the only thing they've really had going well for them so far has been this top lane with Gucci Captain doing really well.
Ooh.
In the farm department. The Shen has not really been able to get up and into the area to actually try and kill these minions. And the grasp, you can't really proc grasp against the Karma. So that has been a great boon for Galactic Warriors, but so far everyone else is just struggling hardcore. The bot lane CS difference is basically starting to counter out what's going on in topside, and obviously a 2-0 Kled is very, very scary.
Now hitting level 6 as well, so Liz, let's be awfully careful.
There is the charm, but that's not going to help you at all. Liz is going to go down. And the encore not helping at all.
Timic also holding the punch, making sure that Tristana gets all the gold possible. Not even getting the assist, but I mean, Tristana has another kill. That's what's really important here.
Yeah, you have 2 people snowballing that get absolutely off the rails when they start getting gold in their pockets. And, you know, Tristana known for having a bit of a weak mid game. If you don't get that strong early game going, they are absolutely doing so with Nerf Snugglebutt. Just piloting this Tristana extremely well in the early game. The question then becomes, can they make that translate into the late game? Can the positioning come out and be successful? Or will that gold start going back the other way with that shutdown, possibly?
Taking it back here, they were able to pick up the first dragon of the game. They got the mountain, and I don't think it's another mountain, even though that's the side of my screen says it will be the Hextech next.
Yep, do not trust what Riot Games tells you. I've been playing this game for a long, long time. That is absolutely one of the first things you need to learn. Look, I need you to pick this up here, Michael. Come on.
Got it.
Yeah. We've been... I know it's probably been a long day for you. It's been a long day for me. But I need you to pick this up here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm picking it up, learning a lot today. But one hand, being ganked, but Timic is here.
Timic is here, but does not really have a whole lot to bring. One hand gonna be at the chase down with the flash there. There is the Shen taunting onto Timic there and going to get the transform again. The resets are coming. Viego is doing Viego things, and that is going to be the turnaround. Only Magical Girls gets basically the same thing happening to him that he made happen in that mid lane. And all of a sudden now, Ganondorf with 2 kills already looking really, really strong.
Yeah, this is one of the members you can count on to this is one of 2 members that you can count on to do damage in your team. So getting them kills early, very helpful. And to confirm what we might have suspected already, Karma is just going full support and building one of the support items as their mythic.
Yeah, looks to be the case. And that's obviously going to just lean into what they need and what they want here. With the Rift Herald being used mid, that's great. Not only for Ganondorf, but also for Liz, as she's going to get a bunch of extra gold out of that, and that really helps neutralize the lead that only Magical Girls has had so far. And hopefully, Seraphine doesn't need to be ahead in this lane. It's just about neutralizing as much as possible, and that's a great start.
Exactly. This Kled can kind of fall off as Stargazer narrowly dodges that hook, but Kled can kind of fall off, and we have 3 supports, 3 enchanters, and are going to be trying to not. They're going to be carrying their team through the late game.
I would argue that Kled doesn't exactly fall off as much.
It's just harder to operate.
Well, he gets kited. And
Yeah.
this is a team composition that is specifically built around kiting and getting those resets to stay alive, things that Kled does not like to deal with. So only Magical Girls, as the game goes further and further, not going to be a fun time, not going to enjoy dealing with that. And this Karma, I mean, we've already seen it in that top side against the Shen. That's only going to keep going even further once the Kled has to deal with the Karma as well.
And I don't want to say this as I don't believe in one hand, but I think Timic definitely needs to be spending a lot more time near this bottom lane. Even if it's just to protect from the Viego, keeping your bot lane rolling is the most important part. And with the Hextech Dragon coming up in 45 seconds, I'm assuming with this reset that that's where we're going to be finding 4 members, at least, of GSG.
Yeah, I mean, you probably expect more as one hand, not only with the ultimate, but with the teleport as well. So obviously teleport only going to be working on the towers at this current moment in time. However, it does mean the ult can come through and the TP back to lane, giving some opportunities here. And yeah, like you said, Tristana relies on getting that lead, really wants to be ahead at this point. Shen, he pushes R, he's cool. He's happy. He's having a good time.
Oh,
Ooh, no, the encore
uprights.
going wide there from Liz is unfortunate there, and that's a major team fight ultimate down as they are going to be going forward. Chubby Chernobyl going for the hook. It's going to get shifted away, but there is the Lux getting obliterated. Lemon Warrior flashing over the wall. Big Diana ult coming in. Ganondorf trying to stay alive, will not do so. Lizakita going to go down next, and Lemon Warrior is left watching the corpses of his team gather around him as GSG Iota run the gambit all over Galactic Warriors, and there it is, the TB back up to top just to catch that golden experience.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected one hand to take the back first, but with how big the wave was into the turret, it makes a lot of sense that it just had to teleport then. But still, Coochie Captain taking advantage of this Shen as Nerf Snugglebutt auto onto a minion, but
I'm gonna be real, that wasn't was gonna happen either way. Nerf Snugglebutt had 0 mana, and that's an Ezreal without your Nautilus being in position. So that was more of a tip of the cap rather than a look for a kill. And right now, that is going to be the kind of a little bit of a hold off now, a standoff, if you will. Galactic Warriors have a little bit of time to kind of catch their breath and get back into this game, but so far it has just been kind of gut punch after gut punch in every area of the map.
3.4k Big B gold advantage for GSG. Not insurmountable, especially with the scaling that you have, but you definitely want to shut down the Tristana. You want to claim that bounty, get the 800 gold. But for right now, at least, we find Ganondorf near the top side.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, this is a look to counteract a gank, which has been really, really working well for Galactic Warriors. They're sniffing the Diana, prepared for her, and she's just going to go over towards this mid lane, it looks like. And that does mean that Ganondorf wasting a little bit of time. Shirley's going to be... Yeah, that was not just telegraphed. That was telegrammed. That was sent in the mail. Carrier pigeons were used. There was a lot of signs that was going to be happening, and it very clearly does not work out.
We're seeing, surprisingly, maybe not so surprisingly, but we are seeing 2 AP items for both Liz and Stargazer instead of opting for another support item on the team. So they're pretty content with just having the Shirelias from Karma in the top lane, but...
It's interesting, because the support generally does not have... Those walls are real thick, man. I get it.
Yeah.
Look. Stargazer really far forward here, and there is the Kled ult. That is just going to be Stargazer going down.
Ooh.
Shift comes through, but the hook's ready for it. That's not a wall. That wall was moving, and that is going to be Chubby Chernobyl helping them pick up the kill onto Lemon Warrior as well. A 2-for-0 after some mispositions. Give Galactic Warriors another loss in the bot side.
But this has left mid turret very vulnerable. Quite low. Only magical girl is
Liz
here, but it should
is
fall
greeting
anyways.
for it. Gonna get the root rather. And just get away.
It's an objective bounty.
Do love that.
Oh,
Liz,
not this.
Chubby Chernobyl. That is not an objective bounty. That is a big suit of armor running you down. Encore going to just try and buy a little bit of time, but it is not enough. Liz Akita, sit down in the fountain, think about what you've done, and watch the teams just swarm around your mid lane tower and take it back.
Yeah, definitely lots of momentum in favor of GSG, and they're just gonna move up to this Rift Herald with it.
Yeah, so Rift Herald, obviously very open here for GSG to take. And will just be easily picked up. And now we have a little bit of a lull in the action now. We have another objective coming up in a minute. What do you need to see from Galactic Warriors at this point in order to make something happen in this game? Because it's been kind of loss after loss, but a couple of bright spots here, and I want to know, what are the bright spots that need to continue to happen here?
The bright spots are, I mean, while I was talking about that you want to kill the Tristan, the bright spots have been trying to attack the Shen, because nobody's going to Shen ult the Shen. So like they're doing right now, they're onto the Shen alone. Diana quite far away.
Yeah, one hand trying to get away. Stun's gonna hit. One hand still backing off, flashing over the wall to break that chain. There is the Shen ult. They don't have any crowd control, but they have the damage. And that will be Coochie Captain picking that one up, and Ganondorf just transforming to help get some of a push down.
That was really risky. He was on a blast cone. I think he was on the very edge, but with the Infernal Rift spawning onto there, but now Rift Herald into the mid lane. Should spell this turret.
Oh, Chubby Chernobyl maybe a little bit far forward. The final spark will not hit, and they do get that second tower, but now Shen is not going to be up for this dragon as it spawns. He's only spawning now, and he's going topside without TP, without an ultimate.
Oh, only magical girls passing through. Shen TP in 14 seconds, so they could wait this out, but Shen is making their way down, actually. So we see team stanced up around.
Chubby Chernobyl is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Here is the charge going in, not getting any speed up. Big move ball from the Diana. Timmick gets one kill. Another one comes in onto the Viego, and now it is just Lemon Warrior in terms of damage. Coochie Captain burning the Shirellia. Stargazer going to go down, and Coochie Captain going to go next. A triple kill for the Tristana. Nerf Snugglebutt having a wonderful game so far. 10-0-2. And that is a third dragon in the pocket as GSG Iota continue their reign this game.
Yeah, maybe godlike by score, or legendary by score, but this Tristana is seeming unstoppable. But I want to highlight two things very important. First of all, before that fight, we did have only magical girls picking up the Serpent's Fang. So much effectiveness against that team. Already, I think they might have had it before that fight, I'm not sure, but 1200 shielding reduced already, that's a lot of value for quite a cheap item. And also, the target selection from GSG in that fight, they got right onto the Viego, they threw the Nautilus ult, no slipping around, no sliding around, and then Tristana right onto the Viego, because that's really the only person that matters. Is Ezreal too far behind, and the rest are supports.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for this when I saw all the shield supports. I was going to say, there needs to be somebody who can make use of Serpent's Fang and make that item sing, because this is exactly where you want to see that item. Shields from Seraphine, from Karma, from Lux. It's just absolutely absurd how much value that item is giving, when in most situations it does not actually provide a whole lot. So only Magical Girl's getting his money's worth so far. And as GSG are going to continue to push on this top side of TP's starting to come in behind. That is Liz Akita. She is
not full health.
Not full health. Does not have the encore. So maybe a little bit of an oopsie on that one.
But this.
Oh. Yeah, another TP coming in. Only Magical Girls is trying to chase down Stargazer. The Luxie does not do a whole lot. And Coochie Captain is here just to be the support in waiting as Stargazer goes down. Gucci Captain says, hold up, I have the support item here. I am the one running the Shirelias. I get to hang out with Ezreal right now.
And now where there were 3 people top lane, all of them left. So GSG get that free turret, and they should just be able to pick up the second one, right? Oh no, are they backing off? Nope, they're going for it. This should just be a second turret gone.
Yeah, macro's starting to falter a bit here from Galactic Warriors, but GSG Iota, they're keeping to their guns in more ways than one and getting that second tower down as they are going to light up the jungle on their way out. Gucci Captain now actually getting jumped on by Nerf Snuggle, but does not have the health bar to go in on that.
A little ambitious.
Well, little antsy. There's some ants in the pants for the Tristana. And hopefully they can rein those ants in, get a little bit of some ant traps laid down. Try and solve the pest problem here. This bit sucks.
Yeah. Nerf Snugglebot sitting on the gold for IE, but they're dancing around the Baron because no vision for Galactic Warriors, so they will have to walk in. See, they have an Ezreal and a Luxol if they want to throw those first, but they're burning through it already.
Yeah. Oh, Warrior does throw a Q down, scares GSG off a little bit as the rest of them are coming in. Ezreal now goes through Chubby Chernobyl, getting very low. Lux ult now does not hit, and that is going to be the Baron picked up. Lemon Warrior actually over the wall here. Nobody seems to have realized Lemon Warrior is here. He's gonna just hang out. Wait for his moment to just hop back over the wall. Maybe not need to as Ganondorf. Unfortunately, they do not get that encore down. They're continuing this chase, though. Chubby Chernobyl going to still stay alive, using that flash. Ganondorf chasing him down, not going to get it. Flashes forward, does get the Nautilus there, and now going to go for a hook, does not hit as the rest of the fight is going on. Timic does take out the Ezreal. Now Tristana is off the chain. Nerf Snugglebutt jumping forward and getting more kills, chasing off Gucci Captain, getting the flash as well. And GSG are still in complete control. Flash onto Lizakita. She's going to try and run away. Only Magical Girls does not need to walk over. One hand will pick that one up, and a solo kill. And GSG Iota, even after they are getting chased out and they're trying to avoid the fight, when they finally turn and take it, they still win it anyway.
Yeah, this Nerf Snuggleball is not there at the start of the fight, but able to come in on sort of a flank and get right onto the members who were near death and just start those resets early. And now they have 4 with the Baron. They're headed towards their soul. And this is, I mean, at this point, if you are GW, it's all thoughts on the next game. Trying to figure out what we can do in draft or in execution to try to prevent this. But Ganondorf,
that's not where you want to smite there, dude. He doesn't even, or no, does get the Scuttle Crab, but now a TP is coming in behind. This is the Shen, and he's going to look to go in. Gucci Captain going to get jumped with the Ignite. This Kled is massive. This Tristana is massive. Stargazer goes down. One hand is the one that picks that one up, and they're going to let Diana solo this dragon with Ezreal on the other side. Yeah, he's hanging out. He's thinking about stealing things like the Explorer that he is. Does not get it. And that is going to just be a reset, as now GSG are winning the game.
Yeah. GSG, this should be the end of the game. Liz, valiant defense effort.
I'm not casting that one.
Not like, quite enough.
There's nothing of worth to talk about there. Is Lemon Warrior going to back off a little bit and just watch his towers go down, watch his structures falter.
I'm a little bit scared because Ganondorf's here and they are quite low with the
Viego moments. He is thinking about going in. He wants to do it, getting shields. But I think GSG are out pretty cleanly here. And the resets mean that all of the gold they earned in that last couple of minutes is finally going to get spent. And if you thought they were strong already, they're just going to get stronger now.
And Nerf Snugglebutt taking this fight. One-shotting the Viego.
There was a random minion in the jungle, and Nerf Snugglebutt decided to take care of it before anybody noticed.
15-0-4. Such an impressive performance already. And I mean, just from start to finish. I mean, getting those kills so early in lane, solo killing the jungler in their own jungle now.
I mean, there's nobody that kills Tristana. She just
Yeah.
will obliterate everybody on the map at the moment, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, as they're just taking so much of the jungle here.
Yeah, all the jungle is now GSGs, but something that you pointed out earlier that I want to bring up again is, because we talked about that, we were a little bit surprised that Lux was opting for the AP, and you mentioned that it was more expensive, and they are still not at that item. It is 26 minutes in the game. They have not completed the item. They're walking back to the fountain. Maybe this is it.
He's holding,
not
quite in hands, waiting for the boom to come. And I don't think it's going to be happening this game, buddy. But I don't think there is also... This is one of those you bite, you lose. Is Chubby Chernobyl going to hit a hook onto Stargazer? Quick, easy pick up as the Kled charges forward. Only Magical Girls just pushing people away from these towers and maybe going to try and end the game here. Depth Charge going to get used. Ooh. Nice encore, big, but no follow-up damage there to come through, and they don't even get a kill out of it. Only Magical Girls very low. Going to take some damage, and Lemon Warrior just wants these kills so desperately. Flashes forward, nerf Snuggle, but he just right-clicks him and puts him back down. Sits him down, tells him about everything going on in his life, and Ezreal just has to sit there and take it.
So close, but at the end of the day, this is what being so ahead gets you. You can make these dumb plays and still be stupid ahead, and now they're just biding their time. It seems like Tristana's walking up to his top turret. They should be able to get this. Nope.
A little bit scared.
Yeah.
I don't think they're fully aware of the cooldown situation there and want to make sure they do not throw, which I can absolutely respect.
Mm-hmm. Always just want to make it clean. No need to do anything rash. So bide their time. Take this, what should be a free Baron, and then that should just spell the end of the game with 2 inhibs down. Third one close, and 1 Nexus turret already gone. That Baron should very well be the end of the game.
And every Baron so far has just been even more hard to get a glimpse on for Galactic Warriors than the last. You can see they are face checking these bushes back here. But by the time they get to this Baron, it is already over. There's the final spark. Not going to get it. Ganondorf actually ults in and has to flash away. One hand on the other side. Nerf Snuggle, but he is jumping forward. He gets hit by that Diego stun. There is the Shen ult to keep him alive. Only Magical Girls also popping over the wall, trying to get some damage down. Nerf Snuggle, but stays alive with the shield. And now there is the Shen trying to protect his Kled. Kled gets back onto Skarl. Skarl has come back. And that is about all she wrote for game 1. Lemon Warrior is the only one left and trying to fight this Tristana. It doesn't matter. Put him down. Just let's go to the next game, guys.
Yeah, very clean game from all members of GSG. Just super dominant, and I'm excited to see how Galactic Warriors bounces back. New draft, new game plan. I'm excited to see how this series...
Yeah, I think we're all excited to see how this series evolves, as I'm going to assume that's what you said, Michael. I'm assuming you hit continue and had the Discord bug out on you, as has been lately. Yeah, gotta. Yeah, it's not a fun time.
Ryan just made me aware of that last week, but
well, he's gonna have to make you aware of it again, apparently. Yeah. Don't learn your lessons here, Michael. Come on. We're trying to be professional here. All right. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break while I educate Michael on how to cast. We will be right back after this. And welcome back, everybody. We are now getting ready for game 2, as we do have the draft underway. I'm once again Thousand Eyes, brought alongside Michael here, as we are seeing some difference in the bands here. Teams have swapped sides, and the Diana is going to get taken off the board right away.
I'm surprised this is Diana that's first to go.
I am as well. I'm going to be real. I don't think Diana was the issue.
No, not at all. That's what I like to see.
Yeah,
that's more like it.
Yeah, but the Tristana was it was a little much.
Yeah, but even with these picks banned away, I want a different comp. Like, you can ban their picks away, force them onto a different comp, but also don't go for the same. And that's already something different. That's something that does damage in the top lane.
Wow, and it's something that was banned away in game 1. Mordekaiser was the second ban there, as they've pivoted to taking the Kayn out instead of the Mordekaiser. And Galactic Warriors are going to be able to pick that one up for themselves. And we'll see. I mean, this is also an instant pick top lane, so there is the possibility of counters being locked in. Leona is going to be picked up here for the support position, and we'll see if the bot lane is just going to be fully picked up here, or GSG want to counter with something that they don't want taken away.
Ooh.
Gangplank makes sense to me. Gangplank. Yeah. That champion got buffed for a reason that is beyond my comprehension.
It's because
it is absurd.
He got a skin. That's why he got buffed.
Good for him. I have had skin my entire life, and I still am waiting on those buffs. Galactic Warriors, though, they will be going, basically, it's confirmed, basically, that is going to be a Gangplank versus the Mordekaiser in the top side. Galactic Warriors going to lock in that Blitzcrank with the Samira, possibly. Yeah, that is an extremely aggressive bot lane that we did not see in game 1.
I think it's definitely the change of pace that is needed. We saw how effective Nerf Snugglebutt can be in just a passive lane where you're not going to do anything. So force something, make it so they have to dodge Blitzcrank hooks, and Samira is a relatively hard champion to actually jump in on and just one shot compared to other ADCs.
Yeah, and the thing that I always bring up, because I play some Blitzcrank with somebody who does play a good amount of Samira, the scary thing with it is Samira's knockup takes priority over the current ongoing crowd control, meaning that if you auto attack too soon during the Blitzcrank hook, you will knock them up before the Blitzcrank hook actually completely pulls them in, and you kind of lose out on a little bit of extra distance being pulled through on that. But it is going to be the Misfortune locked in now with the Leona on the bot side. Definitely a good combination in theory, but you're picking an immobile AD carry up against one of the most predatory supports in terms of getting in your face and wanting to grab you if you can't dash away.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sold on the Misfortune pick, so Nerf Snuggle will just have to prove me wrong, but we'll see how that plays out. But then we're seeing the GW ban away the 2 bans that they dropped from their first rotation in this rotation, still leaving up the Lilia and Vayne from last game. Obviously, I don't need to worry about a Vayne. Actually, wait, they banned... Never mind, they could have still worried about the Vayne. Oh my gosh, wait. Whoa, Sorry, I was looking at the wrong team anyways. They banned Scion and Rumble last game, and they didn't ban either of those again.
Michael playing the intelligent caster in this duo, supposedly, as Nocturne going to be locked in now. And I kind of like this GSG comp again. It feels like they have something they want to do. They have really strong presence on this bot lane, because you have the global GP, you have the Nocturne who's going to pop in, and Leona and Misfortune are such a great duo. But as you mentioned, Rammus picked up for Galactic Warriors, and that one also a pretty solid pickup into what GSG are running.
And it doesn't, looking at the GSG comp so far, they obviously still have a pick to lock in, but these champions struggle against the Rammus, so it's a very good pick for GW. Gives them the tank that they were missing last game, and now Ahri, very good all-around mid laner for Liz.
Yeah, and all-around mid laner just period. that she kind of does a little bit of everything. I think
Mm-hmm.
after her rework, she's been a little bit more utility focused than she has been kind of
Yeah.
burst focused. She does generally go for a bit more dashing in, getting the charm, locking them down after with the Everfrost. Rumble picked up now into the Ari specifically. I don't know how this matchup works, but my
Yeah.
gut says that Rumble does not terribly enjoy this.
Yeah, it feels very interesting to see. I'm not so sure about it, but Only Magic Girls has played a decent bit of it, so we'll see how it actually plays out.
I will be very, very clear. Only Magical Girls is very comfortable on the Rumble in the mid lane. I will that much I understand. Just this matchup specifically
Yeah,
seems a little rough.
melee into Ari definitely doesn't feel great. And nobody saw what our producer messed up again. So
I
one
don't know what you're talking
he
about.
gets one a game. He
You
he flashed.
know, you're supposed to get like one a broadcast at most.
It's yeah. I don't disagree, but we have to go easy on him,
Oh my
or else he
goodness.
won't show up again. But
Thing is, I didn't even actually see it, so I don't know what happens.
he just,
Regardless, teams are going to start locking in here. And so we have a much more fully fleshed out composition from Galactic Warriors this time around. Last time it felt a little overly focused on shielding people
mhm.
when that is not really something a composition can be based around. This time you have the Samira, you have a lot of skirmish potential, and you
Tanks.
have the Rammus specifically against most of that enemy team to really make their life hell.
Yeah, and for GS on the other side though, for GSG, you have a lot of ways to do damage from a distance. Obviously, you have the Misfortune ult, you have the Rumble ult, you have the Gangplank ult, all a lot of very strong crowd control and damage in an area, and then also throwing an Nocturnal on top, make it so it's hard to figure out what's going on in the fight. So messy teams fights are what I'm expecting from this game. A lot of team fighters, a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, you say messy like you're just not. I want to be clear. It's messy because of the champions making it messy on purpose, not the players being messy in their execution of it. Because I think both these compositions do have some not only strong core ideas around them, but they have pretty easy to execute aspects of them as well. GSG have definitely locked in on we are going to be trying to just get all around the map and make things just terrible for either that mid lane Ari or that bot lane with the Samira. There is so much focus that could get put into one specific point on the map. However, the question is that enough for how much Galactic Warriors can just kind of keep the pressure on with these champions and keep fighting while those global ultimates are on cooldown?
Yeah, and I was talking about how Misfortune obviously is very strong in these messy fights, but as a Misfortune, as an ADC player, it's gonna be hard for Nurse Knucklebutt to get a full ult off in the face of a Blitzcrank, Samira, Rammus, and Ari, who all are aiming directly for her.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the scary thing here. You also do want to point out Gangplank doesn't really mind Rammus that much in general. Can just, hit W and walk away. So that should be okay. Also, the Gangplank into Mordekaiser, it's another thing he could just hit W and walk away from. So the Death Realm, not really a factor in that lane. It may turn out to be much more focused on that pre-6 fighting in the top side. Now, I want you to run me through here some possible expectations of some of these laning matchups.
I think, depending on how comfortable one hand is on the Gangplank, this should be a relatively safe matchup. Even you can bully the Mordekaiser from a distance with Q, and as long as you're dodging the E, don't really have anything to worry about. But I do expect the mid lane to go in the favor of Liz. You're the ranged, you have it into the Rumble, you just have to be careful that Only Magical Girls doesn't pull off a 1v2 when Freakish Panda comes to gank again. But this bot lane, I think it should be GW favored. I think Nerf Snugglebutt will have a hard time being the Misfortune, but if they're able to get down the poke with the E and the Qs onto this mirror before anything can happen, that's when you can actually see them getting the advantage in the lane.
Yeah, and like we kind of said, the global ultimate cooldowns become a massive factor in this game. Gangplank ult, Nocturne ult, the Misfortune ult, these are all decently long cooldowns because of the power built into them.
Mm-hmm.
And that does mean that there is more opportunities. Blitz Hook is like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That is a massive difference compared to the 2+ minutes that you're going to get on the Gangplank ultimate and such. So I think the repetitiveness of the pressure becomes important for both teams to either dish out or handle effectively.
Mm-hmm. It'd be definitely exciting to see, and I think one of the important points for GW is utilize the Rammus before Timic has the chance to hit 6. Make something happen, get a snowball rolling before Timic can actually start ganking around the map.
Absolutely. Well, we are ticking down on the spectator delay, so we're going to take a quick break to get ourselves ready for game 2 of the night, guys. Don't go anywhere. Is it going to be a tie game? Is it going to be match point after this one? We're not going to know until we get into this next game right after this. And welcome back, everybody. Game 2 is underway, and this time we see Galactic Warriors trying to go for some invade shenanigans.
Spotted out by only magical girls. Very thankfully for Timic, I'd say. But doesn't matter.
Stargazer? Yeah, still getting hit there. The flash charm misses. And that's actually bad on a twofold level there. Liz no longer has the flash and started the charm. That just completely changes the dynamic of that lane and gives only magical girls an ability to actually get in and shove this wave hard in the pre-level 2 state.
Yeah, and even with getting hooked by the Blitzcrank, able to save the flash as the Rumble, which is huge. But also, as is Stargazer's usual, no flash, even on the Blitzcrank. A little surprising.
It's not surprising, but it is.
Well, yeah. I'm
gonna be entirely honest here. Blitzcrank of all champions is one of the champions you want to have flash on.
Yeah.
Fighting in this top side, Creature Captain missing the mace and will end up losing out on that trade. You can see only Magical Girl is actually able to walk up in this lane. Something that would not have been possible if the Q start had come in for the Ahri.
Still catching some autos, but not all too bad. Definitely better than it would have been. But seeing relatively little action, not as aggressive of a bot lane for GSG, so probably won't be any 2-minute kills, but one hand getting clawed in.
Yeah, pulled in, gets a lot of damage taken in there. Gonna have to burn through some of those corrupting pot stacks. Should be okay, but that is kind of the power that you expect to see from something like the Mordekaiser against the GP pre-6.
We're keeping our eyes on the jungle. Both these junglers about lined up, but one camp advantage for Timic. Still far from 6. Oh, only Magical Girls misses out on the cannon just to be aggressive.
You know, sometimes you're feeling it. Sometimes you just look at it and you're just feeling really good.
You know, I guess so.
Definitely going to be getting some nice damage down with that W. Ooh, engage. Chubby Chernobyl close to the tower. Stargazer not able to hit that hook, and they just take all that damage for free. Samira not happy about that one.
It was a good E back through the Leona by Lemon Warrior to actually save the summoners, but definitely not what you want to see. And this is what I was talking about with Nerf Stungle actually being able to get some poke down in this lane. Lemon Warriors low to a point where it's scary if they go in, because Chubby Chernobyl can keep them locked down and has the Ignite to pressure a kill at this health.
Yeah, and so far this game has been fairly quiet overall. And that, to me, just really favors GSG because it means they have more time to get those ultimates ready. And that is a very scary prospect. Liz and OMG just still just trading back and forth here. Even in the trades, for the most part, it seems like it's favoring GSG.
Yeah, definitely is the case, except for in the top side where Mordekaiser still is holding it down, keeping that advantage in the lane, but otherwise needs to be a little careful. And now with Nerf Stungle running on a mana, it's taking the back, or should be. There you go. Get into a little safe location.
Yeah, and that's also really unfortunate time for Galactic Warriors as they went for not only a gank with the Rammus, but brought the Zakita down as well, and she's going to miss out on a back timer possibility.
We didn't mention it in draft as well, but it is Freakish Panda subbing in for... Oh my gosh, the name is escaping me. Ganondorf. There we go, yes. But I didn't think Ganondorf had that bad of a game at all. I thought they had some shining lights in the game, but regardless, first Dragon going the way of Galactic Warriors, and this is already better than last game.
Very much so. I mean, they do get the dragon off of the bot lane back. They checked, they saw they weren't there, and they said, all right, we're just going to back off. Ari has to be a bit worried about that Rumble pushing in there and just very close to that level 6 point.
And doing good damage.
Yeah, and
getting very low.
Pushing in. Kuchi actually starting to turn it back around, but it is the shot from the pistol. One hand gets the kill. First blood. And Gangplank, who was struggling so hard in that lane, all of a sudden coming out in the lead.
Oh, and this definitely, I do not like this on the Mordekaiser. It feels bad as the Mordekaiser player, but having to buy the Bramble and a cloth armor, that does not feel great.
It does not feel great in any way, shape, or form, and I would even argue it doesn't really help a whole lot there. Although one hand now gonna go in, get pulled in. Ooh, Kuchi Captain chasing down. There is the Death Realm. One hand just gonna walk up and smack that boy with the mace and comes out with better stats. Freakish Panda in on the backside. Goes on to Chubby Chernobyl, not nerf Snugglebutt. Lemon Warrior not able to get anything. It does not have the ultimate ready here. Liz is dashing in, hits the charm onto the MF, but there is no follow-up mana to change anything in what happens there. So it's just a disengaged top lane still fighting, although now there is the Rumble, there is the Equalizer, not in the correct direction.
Chasing no flash Blitzcrank.
Yeah, they are chasing down onto Lemon Warrior and do get a flash out of it as Stargazer backs over to his team and is just happy to still not have a flash.
That was... Rumble definitely could have just gone for Mordekaiser. They're more focused on the higher priority targets, but at this point in the game, just take any kill you can get. Or sorry, on the Blitzcrank. They weren't focused on the Blitzcrank.
They're both made of metal. It's the same thing.
Exactly. But anyways, 1 for 1. Still, gold advantage in favor of GSG just by account of the farm in the mid and bot lane. I didn't realize how far behind Lizakita is.
I mean, it's been a lot of roaming from the Ahri. So it's not just behind in the farm, it's behind in the experience, as you can see in the levels there. One hand also, with that kill, able to basically still be a threat up against this Mordekaiser. But Mordekaiser, as of right now, is very, very beefy.
Ooh. Nice little sidestep from only Magical Girls.
As things are slowing down just a bit here on the top side, there is the oranges. One hand gonna back away, and this is kind of also what we talked about with the Rammus. There's no real way to gank that top side unless you know the oranges are down.
Yeah, exactly. And not an easy thing to rely on, but now, as we were pointing out, Timic hit level 6. This is what we've been waiting for, and I'm excited to see where the first ultimate is, because that's always the most impactful.
Yeah, Nocturne level 6 point, massive, massive power point for him. And we'll see how they want to change that. It's a tough call, because Ahri has been so far behind and stuck under tower. It's not great. You don't want to dive onto the Mordekaiser, because he's going to basically even things out and make it a 1v1. It is just basically only this bot lane, and they have not had a good opportunity for it. Stargazer not going to hit that, but they're going to turn on to Chubby Chernobyl, who gets knocked up. There is the MF ult. They block it with the wind wall from the Samira, but she's taking so much damage. Actually, the Leona picks that one up with the help of the Gangplank ultimate, and is a trade. Stargazer picks that one up. This is a double kill for Chubby Chernobyl at the end of all of that.
Whoa, Nerf Snugglebutt just walked past the Blitzcrank, ulted into a Samira W. I was not ready for that to come out, but I mean, I guess for both these teams, the only thing you're saying is, well, I guess it's good that the support got the kill.
Yeah?
that was a very... I was not liking Nerf Snugglebutt's play in that. But regardless, not the end of the world. They did come away with them more kills, but now...
One hand. He's getting low. He is getting chased down. Kuchi gonna die for this one most likely and will. But it is a favorable trade because you lose out on those minions. No TP to catch that wave either. So GP does end up on the losing side of that.
Yeah, it should. It's outside of the turret right now, but... Oh, actually, not too many minions are gonna crash, but...
It was already crashed as
yeah, that's true. But now... Oh, I thought that hit.
I was ready for it. I was prepping the lungs.
Leona able to escape the
hook. Just look at the difference in damage there.
Yeah.
Lemon Warrior just getting chunked out hard. They're going to go for this bot lane gank. Yeah, it is the Rammus and the Ahri Nerf Snugglebutt going to get jumped on. There is the taunt. That is a dead misfortune. Chubby Chernobyl saving the all-important support bounty, making sure that less gold goes over because he is the true carry.
This Chubby... Hey, Chubby does end up playing safe and doesn't throw their life away, but while this was happening, that's Rift Herald going over to the side of GSG, and they're pushing down mid lane. This is going to be, or this should be mid-tier 1 for Dragon.
Full plates as well.
Yeah, full plates.
Ooh, they're taking a little bit too long here, though. Chubby Chernobyl trying to buy a little bit of time. Ult whiffs there. Timic going to finally get that. Only Magical Girl's getting caught out. There is the Nocturne ultimate just used to try and get away. Only Magical Girl's barely doesn't make it out. Now Lemon Warriors full stacks looking to go in. There is the Devil Trigger as they are trying to fight it, but there's no damage. Only a Vamp Scepter right now on this Samira, and it is not going to work out. Overall, it is just a trade. Only Magical Girls is the only one that goes down in that.
On one hand, walking up a little far.
Yeah, one hand.
Doesn't have the orange anymore.
No more oranges. One hand just going to die. Tower will not help you when you are missing that many stats and are at that low health.
Yeah. Captain in the top lane coming back from what really shouldn't have been a first blood onto them. But I mean, it was a good play from one hand, but in the lane they were doing it so well. But now coming back, armor coming to good use, as we see a full Essence Reaver actually completed for one hand in the top lane.
Yeah, it's interesting here because you look at the actual kill counter and the dragons, and you'd be like, well, man, this looks great for Galactic Warriors, but so far, it's actually a gold lead going to GSG. There's the engage ultimate onto Liz Akita, who's going to get jumped on, dashing away. Lemon Warrior is stuck in the middle of a whole team there, though. They've got to go down. Rammus getting the taunt down. There's Rumble falling as they are turning on to Nerf Snugglebutt. Freakish Panda is going to chase down this Leona, and now Nerf Snugglebutt going to fall as well. Double kill for Liz Akita as she pops off, finally getting what she rightly deserves, and a great skirmish around the bot lane for Galactic Warriors.
Yeah, GSG was just a little bit too split up, and they didn't have their ultimates up. We talked about how this is an ultimate-centered comp, and those ultimates down, they really can't be taking these fights. But now, one hand, the wrong side of the lane, good sidesteps though, should be able to get out.
Hopefully their barrel's getting stopped. There is the grab, nice. Hook in. Coochie Captain cannot continue the fight in one hand. Actually going to trade back here. Top lane. Very back and forth, but here's the jungler. One hand needs to get out of dodge fast. There is the W to immediately get out of the taunt. And one hand stops that gank in its tracks.
Lemon Warrior's very aggressive, but
there's a very over-aggressive push there. Top lane also getting punished. Is Coochie Captain going to be stuck alive after his team goes down? Overall, across the map there, a 3-for-0 in favor of GSG Iota.
It looks so good. It looks so good for Galactic Warriors, and this isn't the end. They are still doing all right, but that was such a big turn. And now with the turret coming down on top of it, good looks from GSG to find their way back into this game.
Yeah, GSG still honestly feeling like they are in control on top of a nice almost 4,000, 3,500 gold lead for themselves. Whether they realize it or not, GSG Iota are the people pushing the pace in this game. And I don't see a world in which that changes in the near future unless there is a major misstep from one of these players.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. This dragon should be the next point of contention. Up in about 1 minute. But now these teams on relatively even footing. Ult's coming back up for GSG. So they'll have all the tools they can need.
Yeah, towers are falling. Dragon's going to be spawning in about 50 seconds, and that is a big, big one because that is the sole point available for Galactic Warriors. It's one of the few things they've had going really, really well for themselves. Gangplank ultimate used, and not entirely sure where. Possibly the top side to keep that wave. Lemon Warrior, you are out of position. What are you doing here, my
There's a
friend?
whole squad.
I feel like he forgot who was on his team.
Yeah, the whole team besides one hand getting an assist there. Stargazer barely missing on the Chubby, but outnumbered in this fight here now. As Liz is separated from the rest of the team, needs to be a little careful for Leona ult.
Yeah, they still have the Leona ult. They have the equalizer. They have the bullet time. A lot of these major cooldowns still available for GSG Iota, and it looks like they may be able to confirm the first dragon of this game for themselves.
Liz is in.
Yeah, Liz is in, Liz is out. Yeah, and unfortunately, Hook also misses from Stargazer, and Liz is tanking a bunch of damage. Freakish Panda going in, not getting any of the knockups, and there's the bullet time doing so much damage. Coochie Captain gonna get the kill onto the MF, now trying to turn onto one hand, not able to stay in that fight. There's the grab, there is the auto attack, trade for the double kill, but overall, once again, it is 2 for 3. It is GSG Iota coming out.
Samira's here though, full health, full mana, everything up. Stargazer's in.
Yeah, in there trying to get the
this
fight.
A hero play?
We are waiting for the Inferno trigger. Gets it, but way too late as it is a double kill for only Magical Girls. And they're going to back away from the dragon as they don't have a smite and they don't know how close that Rammus is.
Yeah, Rammus is here now. And it looks like they have the position on this dragon. Liz and Rammus are here before any member of GSG, and this could be their sole point. Misfortune poking their head around, doesn't see them just yet. Sees them they're on the blue, but too scared to walk up. The rest of the team joining the fray. Good position on the dragon for GSG.
This is the dragon that never ends.
GW. Exactly. It's been a long
No one takes it. No one takes it. We keep fighting over it, but nobody takes it.
Ultimate's back up for One Hand and Simic now. They have their globals.
There is the ult from the GP onto the dragon. They are engaging now. Only Magical is taking a lot of damage, but it is all about this Mordekaiser who is doing so much, but taking so much damage as well. Chubby Chernobyl now getting low, and an immediate kill onto Lemon Warrior who had the Inferno trigger going. Stargazer over the wall. They jump onto him, put him in the ground, and it is a double kill for the GP as GSG Iota are making sure that they are definitively known as the best team of the day.
Hey, but it's not all is lost as Rammus. I don't think you can take this.
Yeah, no.
Huh.
Taunt does not stop the
Flame Spitter.
Flame Spitter.
Huh. That was a little over-eager coming out from Freakish Panda, but
decision to be sure.
Yeah, surely a decision, but if nothing else, they are at Soul Point now. Hextech Soul isn't the end-all be-all per se, but opening up an early Elder Dragon does help them if they are super far behind. So if they're able to flip that somehow, they're able to get another 5-minute dragon fight, we could see a possibility where it's fine since they're so behind. But we'll see how they actually survive to get to that point, because that's still 9 minutes away at very earliest.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while yet, as Baron is the thing on the table now. I think both teams just trying to feel their way out. You look at the vision game right now, and it is very, very dark for Galactic Warriors. They don't have much of anything warded, even inside their own jungle, and without those towers, it is terrifying.
Yeah, a lot of the map open for GSG. They have a lot of room to work with, but that's not stopping GW from getting some vision around the Baron.
Yeah, and vision around the Baron is great, but it is still not lit up very, very well as of yet. And with how strong and how quickly these teams can turn in onto a fight.
Never Snugglebutt's just too fast.
Yeah.
Misfortune, that strut, making it work.
Liz mostly just keeping pressure on as the mid waves are being traded back and forth. As you look at the waves top and bottom though, and you have to feel like GSG Iota can do this for a long, long time.
Certainly, and we'll see. Yeah, neither of these teams are really here with intent at the moment, but a
Grab.
hook from...
That is onto the Rumble. They do not get him killed before the Zonias, as these Samira on the backside there, trying to get in. Now Nerf Snugglebutt, great bullet time over. Lemon Warrior is trying to fight, actually turning that around. The Mordekaiser is massive. Ihan the only one left, and it is a very, very good ace for Galactic Warriors, and this opens up so much for them. Look at the amount of towers they have to pick up, the standing gold available to them.
Standing gold there's a lot available for them. Got a little bit unfortunate without having a full minion wave there, but we'll be able to pick this tower up. Well, they're a little bit slow. I don't think they're going to be able to go for the second. Team members already spawning in for GSG. They take their tower, they take their ace, and they walk away with it. That's not too shabby for them.
Equalizer, importantly, not burned in that fight. Only Magical Girls did not have the opportunity to use it, and barely got the Zonias off. Timic gonna see Freakish Panda taking the red buff and just walk away. I don't understand why Rammus doesn't just roll everywhere, to be entirely honest.
Hey, that's the passive in Wild Rift, I'm pretty sure. Rammus just passively rolls.
You know, I always knew Wild Rift was the better game.
Something I do want to figure out for these next couple of fights is how is GSG going to deal with Mordekaiser? This Mordekaiser has proven in fight that they are so very useful and very scary. Nerf Snugglebutt is not able to create enough range, and like I was talking about, it's very hard to get an ult pulled off, but one hand...
Taunt burned onto one hand, who's going to flash away, does not have oranges yet, and there is the root. Lizakita going to pick that one up, and the ultimate does come back around from the GP. The bullet time just shredding the Samira. Stargazer also going to just watch his teammates go down, and only Magical Girls turns on to the Mordekaiser as well. You asked how they take it down. I think that might be it. Rammus going in and he steals it! That is the soul picked up by Freakish Panda. A massive steal to make sure that Galactic Warriors are still in this game in a pretty convincing fashion.
I was just about to talk about how they figured out how to fight that fight because Mordekaiser ulted the Rumble, and Rumble just sat in Zania, so that was all fine. But then I saw the Rammus rolling in on the side of my screen, able to steal away the ult. Doesn't matter that steal away the dragon. Doesn't matter that they died. They got the soul for their team, and that's a permanent buff. That is huge for their survivability in this game, and it's keeping them in. Now, they just need to not get caught off two on the side of the map again. They need to stay grouped and stay pressuring. They can send the Mordekaiser onto the side. Mordekaiser has teleport. It takes a lot to take him down. So either multiple resources are committed there, or they're just able to push for free.
Yeah, And that was even more impressive when you consider the fact that there was no flash on that Rammus. That Rammus had to ult in. That is a one-way trip, and he made it count. This Lemon Warrior and Stargazer also
one hand.
possibly, yeah. One hand does not do as much damage. Yeah, okay, maybe I understand why they buffed GP now.
I was really expecting for that to do a bit more, but maybe not super optimal.
Oh, engagement up on the top side. Ari dashing into the team. Bullet time going right in the choke with the equalizer. Kuchi Captain actually picks up 1 kill onto the Nocturne, but it is just a trade 1-for-1 at the end of the day, with Freakish Panda still alive and trying to see what he can do in terms of trying to steal the Baron if you do see GSG go for it. Engage. Lemon Warrior does block out the Zenith Blade, but only Magical Girl's flashing forward, hitting the E slow, and now going for even more and more forward. Zonia's just to be golden while he gets the kill, and that is going to be bot side actually going down. Stargazer, the last one alive, and at the end of it there, it is another ace by almost any real metric you would consider. That is gonna be for GSG Iota and Baron as well.
I was going to comment before, just after the first kill happened, that was a fine 1-for-1 for GW because they killed their jungler and their jungler was still alive. But then GSG kept the pressure up and took down the rest of the team, and now they have an uncontested Baron all for themselves, and now they're right back in the driver's seat, right back pushing this game forward.
It doesn't even feel like they ever left the driver's seat.
It
feels like the steering wheel got yanked around a couple of times, but they were still in the driver's seat the entire time.
Very true. But now with this Baron, they already have the mid wave pushed. They still have 2 outer or inner turrets that they can pick up, so there's still gold for them. But for GW, they just have to find a way to hold on, and they just need to pick better fights with their whole team there.
Yeah, just because you can engage does not mean that you should. And it seems like that is the lesson that still needs to be learned by some of the players on Galactic Warriors, as they're going to push in and check on this Ari, give it a little bit of a house visit there. There is also the Rammus zooming away.
I also talked about in the pregame, well, I have a little lull, about how when we just saw the game playing Nocturne and Misfortune, there wasn't a member that could deal with the Rammus. Rumble's that member. Rumble will shred through the Rammus, and having barely any MR only from the Chem Tank, not enough, but
Oh, engage. Dash over the wall alongside the Zonias, maybe now baiting the rest of the team. Stargazer just going to run straight at them and pull them away as quickly as possible. But that does mean another death, as now Lemon Warrior gonna go down, unfortunately, in the middle of an entire enemy team, is Kuchi Captain going to win the fight up against the Nocturne, and now trying to get a kill onto the Gangplank, but one hand stays alive through it all thanks to the bullet time.
yeah, a lot of power, and this was another separated fight. Somehow Liz got caught so far out, and this should be the end of the game. I said this last game when they had Baron and were in the base. Respawns are coming up relatively soon, and they're scared again, so they're gonna back off.
That one, I don't think they were gonna get. I'm gonna be real.
With Elder coming up especially, this is not a time where you can throw and all die, because that's a free Elder for the other team. And I was talking about how the condition to get back or to continue fighting in this game is Elder for GW, and Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. One hand, call out.
Yeah, Charm does miss. One hand going to use the W to get a little bit more space from the Everfrost, and they do pick up GP right as the Dragon is getting ready to spawn, and that's a major member down for GSG.
Yeah, this is not what you like. And with the TP just burnt from one hand, they won't be able to be there. They have the ult to throw as soon as they spawn in, but for now, GSG is 4v4.
Ooh, a big Leona ult, and there is Nocturne going in. Paranoia getting a lot of darkness across the entire team. Coochie Captain trying to 1v5 to the best of his ability. Going in on only Magical Girls will win the fight up against him, but that is a fight lost as you come out. Double kill for Nerf Snugglebutt, who is slowly but surely trying to match some of his numbers from game 1.
Awfully low though, and Liz is here. Did not spot.
Oh my god, it's back up! Why is it back up? Axiom Arc.
Fair and balanced item, right?
Oh my goodness. That is insane.
And because this is this game with these two teams, of course that dragon's not done in one fight. It's still there. It's ready to go for the next fight. We're gonna wait probably for some cooldowns for everyone to respawn, and they're gonna go at it again.
Yeah, it feels like the teams are just kind of butting heads, and it's whoever gets the better lead all in is the one that ends up taking the entire map away. So Elder Dragon is going to be spawned here. You can see it is being checked out by GSG pretty thoroughly. They prepare for it.
It's always a little bit easier for Red to get position on these dragons, but still members far for GW. Rammus near. Dragon resets a little.
It is getting low. It is under the 3K mark now. Lizakita going in. There is the... Oh, unfortunate. Rammus cannot steal this one. And that is going to be wipes coming in. The burns onto Lemon Warrior. Shilbo will keep him alive as Timic is going to go down. Chevy Chernobyl also just had to watch as the rest of his teammates do all the work. Nerf Snugglebutt going to push forward here. And I think this finally may be the end of game 2.
Yeah, definitely looking to be the case. Elder Dragon on 4 members of GSG. Unless there's some miracle play. Lemon Warrior already getting chunked out. And that's it.
Barrels do not get blocked by the wind wall. This is a PSA to any and all people who believed otherwise. Lemon Warrior just immediately going down.
Yeah, they might just settle for the inhib, but Rammus is here.
Yeah, there is the stun forcing the WR early, but look at the bullet time damage. Nerf Snugglebutt is huge. And only Magical Girls going to use the Zonias to stay alive through the tower, pelting him in the back. And another inhibitor going down. This feels more and more like this series is just everything coming up in favor of GSG Iota, and they are putting their name on the ticket finals if they can get this in one more game. Magical Girls does not get the back. Flash forward, Liz does not actually hit that. And now the burn, able to Zonias and stay alive through it. Very clutch.
Very, very clutch, and the game continues.
It certainly does.
But you were talking about how this time and time again is coming up GSG, but this is a lot better of a GW game. This is the game I was expecting coming into it. They're fighting a lot more in this game, and while it's still not enough quite yet, hope is not dead for them in this series. After that first game, seeing the scores of your bottom lane, of your bottom side, having, I think, 3 total assists and 20 deaths, it was not great. But this game, having 26 kills, having the soul, and just having so many opportunities in this game, it's looking a lot better. But one hand watches the one hand pass by. Lemon Warrior trying to go in, flashing in to avoid that. Oh my god, the barrels do so much damage, and Lemon Warrior just barely survives with the 1v2 help. This Coochie Captain diving in, but there is Timic doing the same onto the Ahri. Bullet time, as you can see, Coochie Captain just providing so much beefiness. But for what, you may ask?
And the answer to that is essentially nothing, as Chubby Chernobyl still looking to go forward here.
Liz on the flank. Spotted out.
I don't know entirely what the plan here is meant to be, but I think it is a go next look.
Nexus turret down. Lemon Warrior trying to be the warrior of this game. 1v4.
Yeah, going in now.
Oh,
he's gone.
Just like that. And this will be Baron. Including any shenanigans, or they're just
getting low. Yeah, they're peeling off, going on to the Rammus there. Actually, the Blitzcrank hook does not hit as the nearsighted. Not enough as we watch this zoomy little armadillo go his way.
And like that, they dissuade the Baron. That time, though, with dragging everybody towards there, did knock down a Nexus turret with the super minions. So not for naught for GSG. And now Elder Dragon's spawning again in 90 seconds. Seems like that might be what this game brings us to.
Which, in my opinion, feels a little bit like a failure for GSG.
Certainly, yeah.
Because they have been so in control of this entire game, and for them to be fighting for a second Elder when they've already had one dragon stolen from them feels like it is putting the game on a knife's edge. And while it is constant back foot backpedaling from Galactic Warriors, this could be their opportunity to turn that around. Stargazer now getting caught out. Nocturne Paranoia being used. Barrels laid down. That is a bunch of damage going down on the Stargazer. And Stargazer just going to die once again. Not able to accomplish a whole lot.
It's a plight of support. You're expected by your team to go get that vision, but then they just abandon you so you can go do it. So you get caught out and Stargazer dead for 30 seconds. This opens opportunity for an epic monster start, potentially, from GSG.
They're still waiting on that Elder, and I don't think they want to take the chance on the Baron right now. And how tanky it can end up being. And there's so much damage there, as you see. And Kuchi Captain also just hanging on the side. Elder's spawning in about 5 seconds. This is basically do or die for Galactic Warriors.
Yeah, they're fairly far, and Dragon is not as tanky as the Baron, so it's getting dropped down. Rammus, though, quick as ever.
Yeah, there is the engage. Kuchi Captain trying to get vision onto the Baron to make sure that they can go in. There is the smite, and it is actually picked up by the Nocturne Timic, confirming the Elder Dragon and basically confirming the game, as finally 4 people are down. It is just Liz staying alive, and ultimately I think we're gonna see the Nexus explode here.
Let's hope. I mean, not only for these teams' mentals, but also just GSG. The amount of times that this game could have been closed out with a Baron by the Nexus, with an Elder Dragon, it's a little slow, but regardless of that, GSG coming on top in this game, ending, or starting, or now at match series point. Wow.
Yep.
Series point.
Just keep rolling through the numbers. One will work eventually. But that is, yeah, like as you said, it is series point now for GSG Iota, and they are looking very, very strong in doing so. First game, complete stomp. Second game, it was closer for a while, but eventually it just felt like there was no real coordination coming from Galactic Warriors, and a very strong sense of that coordination coming from the other side. But we are going to take a quick break as we get ready for game 3, possibly the last one of the night, guys. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to see if we end tonight on this third game or go even further. And welcome back, everybody. We're just about to start the draft for game 3 here, as GSG are looking to close this one out in a clean sweep in pretty dominant fashion. And I am very excited to see how these teams are going to change things up. Once again, teams actually opting to stay on the same sides this time around. And we'll see if that does kind of mix things up, if teams want to go for something. Like, let's just take a look here at what could be left open that Galactic Warriors can actually take advantage of.
Mordekaiser worked for them last game.
Mm-hmm.
It was effective, and I don't know if GSG is going to keep the same bans, but GW already swapping things up already, banning the Vex round or phase 1 again. So we'll see. And then still the Tristana, which is a very good choice, but now the Galio is left open.
Yes, and the Mordekaiser taken away. So now this does leave up Gangplank is still available. If Galactic Warriors feel like they could play it, they could just kind of take it. I mean, obviously, it felt really good into the Mordekaiser, but I would argue that Gangplank is just a really good champion to play right now.
Lilia.
Yeah, Lilia going to be the lock-in. That one actually has, I think, seen some ban action. Yeah, was banned in the second phase of game 1. So now some switch-ups here. And you know what? At this point, you go for it. Your season's on the line. You might as well just lean into it and say, you know what? We have to change things drastically. Let's go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And for GSG, they opt to actually pick up the Lux this time. Hopefully able to complete their Mythic in this game, but it could also be a mid lane Lux, so that might be a lot easier.
I mean, that is possible. You never know. There's a lot of things out there that could.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be support. I think Lux is most played at the support level here, and Gnar going to be picked up in the top lane for a strong blind pick for GSG. After you take out that Mordekaiser, you might as well just go in and say, you know what? This will probably win into most anything you're going to want to pick here. Let's roll with it.
And a little bit less volatile for one hand, but a Volibear locked in. So that could... I'm assuming that's top, right? Do we see any Lilia top shenanigans from Coochie Captain?
I don't think so. I think that is a Volibear top side, which into a Gnar does not straight. So this is really strange to me, because Volibear is such a strong pick in the meta, specifically because he is an extremely good jungler that has the ability to... I don't know what's happening in this draft anymore.
Okay, so I think it actually is the Lilia top for Coochie Captain based on their OPGG. Okay. I don't know what's happening with the rest of it, though. I don't know where
is it the Momo support? Are we going back to Worlds? Is that what we're getting right now?
Stargaze, let's take a look-see here. Oh, I'm not seeing any Not seeing any Amumu,
Gonna draw a
surprisingly.
big question mark on that one for the time being, and assume that Galactic Warriors have gone for the 3 jungler strategy here to really hurt this Trundle in the best way possible.
I do like the Trundle pick, though.
The Trundle pick, yeah, I was gonna get to that. Trundle, great into the Amumu, pretty solid into the Volibear as well, and does provide a lot of utility that makes this Gnar and Lux better to work around.
Mm-hmm. I'm very surprised to see a Zeri man. I think she is bad right now.
I would agree with you, but once again, we've kind of talked about it. Comfort does become very, very important for these players. And if there is a champion that you know somebody is going to do well on because they just know that champion well, you'd rather say like, all right, you're going to have to play the meta thing that you don't know as well and see what happens on that.
Oh, but GSG are also opting to ban away the MF this time instead of taking it for themselves.
Yeah. And to a degree, I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're already running the Lux, which is generally more of a poke into a kind of pick kind of style. Not what you generally want with an MF. You want someone to set you up for that ultimate and hit a massive one there. Jinx does kind of make sense. Remember, this is post-nerf Jinx. She no longer has the insane amount of base health that she had in the previous patches and will be a lot squishier. And I think in the early game, that's really, really going to hurt when you're going up against stuff like an Amumu and a Volibear.
Yeah, losing 50 health, definitely dangerous. And see how GW decides to respond in Jhin. That's good far range. I think I can test against the Jinx fairly well.
Yeah, and hey, if you're not in range of the enemy, you can't die to them.
Exactly.
I like that. It's solid sound reasoning there. The thing that we're still gonna kind of waiting on is like, what is this last pick? Because it's gonna basically change up where we expect most of these characters to go. Okay,
ooh, that's not the champion I wanted to see or the role I wanted to see.
Yeah. So I think what this does signify.
Oh.
That's not locked in. We're not going to talk about it. But the things that I think this does signify, though, is that it is a Volibear mid, possibly, with the Amumu jungle and the Lilia top, is I think where that is looking like. And that is now going to be locked in. So that is a Lux mid with a Taric support for this Jinx.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Because there is, like, Lilia, Volibear, Amumu, Dracan, they're all getting in. They're all trying to do their thing in one spot, and the Taric can immune all of that and keep the team safe. And I think that's so strong in this game.
Absolutely there. And it's all about like how quickly is that damage going to come out now? Because you look at that composition, none of that is we just wipe you with a mosh pit of damage. It is we have a lot of crowd control, and Jhin and Lilia will eventually just kind of DPS you down or burst you with burst one person specifically with that Jhin. Taric is fine with that. If you take your time, he's gonna have a absolutely wonderful time setting up his ultimate and allowing his team to soak up all that damage and turn back on to change the fight back around.
Yeah, and Jinx will be able to pump out the consistent damage needed to chunk through the likes of Volibear and Amumu, and with that Taric especially, have so much time to do it.
Yeah, it's looking like GSG are kind of sticking to their guns and kind of running a pretty solid overall team fight composition. That GSG's first composition in game 1 was a meatball, but felt a little bit more of a split push kind of style. Game 2 was very global focused and looking to converge on that bot lane. This time it is we're going to finish lane and we're going to group up and look to just beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, definitely should be exciting to see. But for GW, they opted into this comp. They drafted these champions together. I am very curious to see how they execute and how they believe that this can keep them in the series.
I'm sorry, just the way you said that, like they picked these champions, like that's not a thing you do in every single League of Legends.
Well, they picked these champions, and I hope there's some intent behind them, particularly together, so they can make a bit more sense of it than I can. Maybe there's something that they see that I'm missing that might make sense to them, and they might be like, yeah, this is what we need to be able to win this game, to be able to win this series.
I mean, there is the AoE fight, right?
Yeah.
Like that is something that I think has been lacking.
But then you have Jin.
Yeah. They have Jin. But I like the rest of it, though.
Yeah.
Like okay, yes, there's some issues, but at the same time, Amumu, Volibear, Rakan, Lilia, like all of those champs together is really, really solid, and I think is more of a cohesive composition and a kind of a easier to execute composition than we have seen from them the entire night.
Yeah, and I think the last game especially, they showed that they can like win these team fights. Like they had a lot of good fights. They were able to stack dragons. They got their soul. And so they had a lot of good shining moments in last game. And now Ganondorf is subbed back in. Important to note for GW.
Absolutely. And now, so far, it is looking like the Amumu jungle and the Volibear in the mid lane, which does, if it is the Volibear mid, and usually for solo Volibears in general, you see that Riftmaker and you see a bit more AP to provide a bit more burst as well, making this a little bit better in terms of that AoE team fight style here. But I want you to walk me through what some of these lanes are going to look like through here, because I mean, the first thing that immediately pops out to me is Volibear does not like laning against Lux.
Yeah, Volibear laning into Lux could be quite difficult. I think with the amount of like the length of cooldowns that Lux has, I think it is possible for Volibear to get shove in the lane, especially if they're able to proc the passive, get that lightning rushing, and are able to drop the E on the whole wave. They are able to actually catch most of that wave, but for the top lane, it's a little bit harder. Gnar can't kite Lilia as well as other melee champions, and I mean, Lilia is quite long range for melee, but little harder to kite just with how fast they are. But and then the bot lane, we do have the Rakan wanting to engage, but that's paired up with the Jin, so maybe not the best target. And then you have a Tark to try to dissuade that. So maybe not so much action coming down in the bot lane. So I think a lot of the early game especially depends on where these junglers decide to put their pressure.
Yeah, and Trundle kind of notorious for being a pretty strong early jungler. He does have I always love when I get to talk about this. He has what I like to call the troll toll, where if he can do 3 jungle camps in his first clear. He could do some iteration of buff Gromp, go to a lane and gank, or go for Scuttle Crab. And if you're not warding, you're not paying the troll toll, and the troll toll will come for you. And that is entirely on you that you let that Trundle then snowball out of control. So
Yeah.
I want to see if these teams can pay that troll toll and be aware of that whole issue kind of going into it, because it's a massive difference between a Trundle that gets that early gank off and then a Trundle that doesn't.
Yeah, that's very true. But now we're hopping into our spectator delay. I don't have much more to say. I'm excited to see how this goes.
I have completely borne out all of the information that my colorcaster has, and he is begging me to go to a break, so I will oblige him and take us to a break. We'll be right back after this, guys. Possibly the last game of the night. Don't go anywhere. We're going to see how this all ends up in game 3. All right, everybody, welcome back. Game 3, as we do have GW on the ropes and an invade coming out right from the get-go. Tarek, definitely known for his solid engage potential level 1, but I think it's just going to be a ward and back away, and probably a standard start, all things around here. Like we've said, keep your eyes on this Trundle.
Yeah, definitely exciting to see where they will gank early. And Timic being in the mid lane, leaving a little bit up to doubt, but then pings towards the blue buff. So that should be the start. And with the Mumu walking down to the bot side, we should see mirrored bot lane starts for these two teams.
Now, I want to know your opinion on this, because to me, a Mumu should never be in a position to contest this Trundle. And you know that they kind of came in from that bot side as a group. You can kind of expect a bot side start here. To me, this feels like a little bit of a mistake.
I think I agree, but very surprised to see Liz start the Q in this lane. Just want to point that out.
Yeah,
but
definitely not the norm. Usually see that thunderclap come through.
Still able to get the push in though. Very good. But yeah, I don't think Amumu will be stepping up to this Trundle anytime soon. At least for my own health, I hope to not see it. But never can really know what's going to happen in these games.
And there's kind of the thing we were scared of there. Just how much poke that this Lux can put through. She's already healed back up most of the damage taken. And Liz gonna struggle to get back in like before. The top lane Lilia also not one that you see a lot of.
Ooh. Done in for just a rocket. So we see Amumu doing the 3 camp into bottom lane potentially.
Definitely an unexpected gank pathing here as Gandalf looking coming. Oh! Double knock-up coming in. Chubby Chernobyl getting hit. They're trying to get Nerf Snugglebutt. They're going to get Nerf Snugglebutt. And Chubby Chernobyl will walk away. But not only do they get the Jinx, they get both summoner spells as well.
Yeah, but that was at the cost of 4 summer spells in one hand.
Getting in a little bit of trouble for himself.
Running right into Timic, by the way.
Yeah, here comes Timic. He wants to fight it. He's actually starting to get in a little bit of trouble. One hand getting low, but Kuji not gonna get away. The troll toll came for thee, and you didn't respect it.
A nice kill already. Chubby needs to be very careful.
Yeah, they're going into the traps. Nerf Snugglebutt.
Control ward down.
Scare him.
Yeah.
Where to come from? Nobody knows.
You're like, now these people have back. How is their control ward there?
Oh,
no
my
idea.
goodness. Okay, so Kuchi Captain doesn't miss a whole lot in terms of the actual CS there with the TP. So not the end of the world, but does feel real bad that Trundle gets to go back and immediately get a pickaxe after the first clear.
Liz still taking a beating in this lane, but Nerf Magical Girl, or only Magical Girls.
Nerf Magical Girl.
Running out of mana. Slowly but surely.
Michael showing his true colors.
Hey, I see Nerf is right below it. The words are close. They just blend together. It's that time of the night.
Only Snugglebutt. My goodness. Okay, so take a little bit of stock of the situation here. Nard does go back, is gonna TP to catch this wave, so TP is basically traded, and Kuchi will get a nice solid back here to basically even out, despite the fact, Liz, you are going forward into a route. Lots of minions there.
A little aggressive. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize, not only was the Valiber getting beaten down so bad, the farm immensely in the favor of only Magical Girls. Up to 20 farm just about. Not looking great.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I don't think that Liz was prepared for this pick. It does not seem like a pick they were really super prepared to run.
Yeah.
And that's not a good pick you want to run when it's your entire season on the line.
Exactly. I think I saw somebody say in chat that Liz not had a game of Volibear, at least in Season 4, but then they later rescinded that, and it was not in ranked games. They have 12 normal games, but still not a lot of Volibear experience at all.
Definitely not. And especially playing Volibear in the mid lane is an entirely different thing, as Sleep is going to come through.
This is a kill.
Gucci does not have the Q yet. Will get it there, and that is a solo kill there. Stargazer going in. Ganondorf is here for the counter gank. Timic, though, is doing a lot of damage. They get the shield. They get the heal. Timic not able to chase him down. Ganondorf is running back away. Lemon Warrior does not have a whole lot of mana to help out, and it's just going to be the disengage. That Lemon Warrior gets his team out, and it ends up with nothing. Ooh. Stun hits. There's the zap. Lemon Warrior then gonna turn
still here.
Yeah, good bandage toss coming in. Chubby Chernobyl has to flash away as the fourth shot takes him low, and Lemon Warrior actually coming out ahead on that. Now only Magical Girls looking to get in. There's the bind. There's the ult, and Stargazer going in. Very careful. Chubby is very low. The shield keeps him alive, and all in all, it's all of that just to kill Ganondorf.
Yeah, these teams really like to have a very extended play for a single objective at the end. So just one kill coming out there, sometimes just a dragon, but at the end of the day, kill lead, slight gold lead over to the side of it's GSG.
Yeah, you got there eventually, buddy.
I was confused. I was looking on stream, and they're on the wrong. The logos are on the wrong side.
Oh, so we can blame our producer.
Exactly. It's not my fault. It's producer gap.
I've never seen a producer that gets that wrong before. So, you know, there's always new things to try here at Zero Gravity Gaming. Another bind there, Liz.
Oh my gosh.
Getting extremely low. Only Magical Girls doesn't have the mana for the final spark, though, so Liz does stay alive. Timic
helping the shove.
Yep, good stuff there. And top lane, though, Gucci's still doing pretty well into this Gnar matchup.
The one hand keeps catching those bowling balls, too.
Yeah. And that's huge, because that's just extra tick damage and extra ability for Lilia to catch up, because it's not just the move speed you're getting at that point, but also the overall speed difference between the two champions gets massive at that point.
Exactly, and one hand continuing to take hits, but should be a little bit more difficult to kill now that the Gnar is found under turret, but teams are vying over vision on this dragon. Forward cleared out, and keeps just bringing us back to the top lane.
Yeah. And
oh, sleep.
Now, one hand getting slept there, getting low. Will actually get the transform. Gucci Captain does not get through that one alive. And while we do see things change for one hand, our producer still hasn't swapped the teams to the other side.
Oh my gosh.
A final spark. Ganondorf getting extremely low. Flash forward. Another attack will get it. Flash into the wall. Unfortunate. Chubby Chernobyl also in a fight on the bot side there. Deep into the enemy team. And only Magical Girls gonna continue fighting onto this Volibear. Ignite comes down. There is forward. Ignoring the bind. The blast cone hit for a reason unknown. Only Magical Girls gonna hit that. Oh,
I thought that was the other team.
No, wrong team on that one. And Liz Akita gonna back away as Chubby Chernobyl trying to look for that stun. Going forward, and the flash is burned just to stay alive again. Whew.
A lot happening in that short span. But now, as I was talking about, they're vying for the dragon again. Gank up towards the mid lane. 3 members of GW coming towards only Magical Girls and Timic. And then, barely misses.
Yeah, just Very, very close. There is a final spark. Massive damage from the Lux. A nice Curse of the Sad Mummy going on to Magical Girls. There is a nice bowling ball as well. Coochie Captain coming in to help clean this one up. Timic gonna burn down. I believe Coochie Captain does get that one. That is a Jin who does not know his up from his down. But he will. Yeah. I feel like the Lilia quote in that one was specifically towards Jin. It was just no one saw that. No one saw that, and no one saw it. Lemon, promise.
And now that's the Rift Herald for GW. But on the other side, Nerf Songabot was able to get some plates of their own. Not going to be able to compare to the plates that are got with this Rift Herald mid, and they can translate this pressure right over to the Dragon.
This is actually really solid stuff here from the side of Galactic Warriors. Now it's messing me up. Come on. Galactic Warriors getting a nice dragon there, blocking out the Jinx.
Oh my gosh, that Lux.
That Lux almost got it. Bind does not hit on the front line there. Only Magical Girl's going to get low, but not going to get in danger. As finally our producer has figured it out.
He woke up.
Swap the teams.
Woke up. Telling us he was a little bit tired, but woke up just in time.
That was me. I said I was tired.
Well, I thought Fritz also was complaining that he'll have to be up soon. Or early in the morning. But one hand, clearing out the controller, not going to jump over the wall towards Lilia. But game very even at this point.
Surprisingly even, I would say, honestly.
Yeah.
Considering
mid lane?
Considering mid lane, but also considering the way that the series has gone so far. It's been, when the drafts have gotten a little weird, for lack of a better term, from Galactic Warriors, they kind of have started to go really poorly really quickly as well. And it feels like there finally is a little bit of groove for Galactic Warriors.
Yeah, it feels... Oh, traps just don't activate. But it feels like, game by game, GSG is simultaneously slipping.
Time. There is the lilting lullaby, the W. One hand, not going to get the transform in time here. Coochie just needs one more Q. There it is. Coochie is really good at this top lane Lilia.
Yeah, making it work. And stun onto the Rakan.
Yeah, a nice knock-up onto the Taric. The Charm is going to hit, but Stargazer is not low enough. Ganondorf is going to pop in forward. Going to get stuns on, make sure that the Taric can't walk away, but he will go down for his sins as only Magical Girl's trying to come in and get a final spark down. Will not be able to do so. Lemon, though, completely ignoring the fact, the binding just barely misses. Lemon putting on his fancy shoes there for that one.
The early Swifties really making the difference.
Really, really making a massive difference, and great stuff. Honestly, Lemon doing a great job. Like, we kind of said this bot lane was not going to do great. Like, we kind of just straight up said that. They're ahead right now. The items obviously don't show that because Jinx did get a back in there, and there's the boots on the Jhin as well. But overall, this Jhin has been doing, I think, a lot better than we expected, as well as the top lane.
Yeah, this Jhin is doing quite well, and the Lilia making it work. But one of the picks that we did predict to not do so hot is, understandably, I'd say, not doing so hot with the Volibear being down quite a bit of farm.
Yeah, and the question really becomes, what do you do about that? Stargazer actually getting hit by the pillar, unable to get away.
Have damage for this?
They don't have the damage. TP's actually coming in. Timic is going to actually die to Stargazer. The 1v1, the support is too good. And Coochie Captain showing up now, trying to get onto the Taric. Doesn't actually get it. Coochie is very, very, very careful here and needs to back away. As the ult Stormbringer in the mid lane, she's just barely staying alive there.
Yeah, very, very close. Their damage just not coming through for only Magical Girls. Sitting on quite a bit of gold, though, so definitely could have been the difference maker had they taken an earlier back, but right now, a little bit of calmness. Dragon spawning, 70 seconds. Plenty of time.
Yeah, and hey, this is first time we've had a calm point in a game where it has not been panic mode for Galactic Warriors. They've been always on the back foot at this point in the game, 15 minutes in, and it's feeling like there's a chance.
Yeah, definitely feeling like there's a chance, and especially after last game, after they did so well. They got the dragon stacking, they got a soul for themselves. And now, jumping on a Chubby.
There's the root there. They're not going on to nerf Snuggle, but Stargazer actually going to provide a little bit of distraction there. Lemon Warrior, though, definitely caught out there. Timmy got a flash over the wall just to make sure that kill gets secured. Shut down. Big stuff there. Kuchi having to burn the ult just to get him away. Don't hit the Q. Why'd you hit the Q? Never mind the never mind. The Gnar picks up the kill and gets away.
So close for the Gnar. Almost not making it work, but going back in, Timic.
Yeah, they are going into the final spark
gosh.
there. That damage is massive. They don't have the Jin for this. They can't fight this. That's a poor engage if I've ever seen one. And Stargazer going to have to watch himself go down just as the dragon spawns.
And this is... We got quite a good example of Caster Curse. We were talking so much about how GW standing up in this game, making it work. Making it better over the series, and yet... that happens. A clean ace coming through for the side of GSG.
So I have learned I am no longer allowed to speak, apparently.
Oh.
As I will apparently ruin any and all instances of teams trying to get back into a series. Case in point, right here, Kuchi captain going to go down as
Man almost stole a kill.
Yeah. No, that was an entire solo kill.
Yeah.
One hand tried to steal it, didn't eventually get it, and man, I apparently am not good at this casting thing because my words will ruin teams.
Hey, nothing that their gameplay shouldn't have made up for themselves, so we're not to blame, surely.
Yeah.
But Turret getting picked up. That's a bounty too.
Yep. Super Mega Death Rocket does not hit. Liz gonna use that Stormbringer once again. We have seen one offensive Stormbringer, and it has not been super effective. Just getting, I believe, a kill out of that. Oh, Stargazer, you need to get over.
Oh, slipped out.
Look how low it is.
Barely escapes by the skin of her teeth. But Lemon Warrior might not be so lucky if... Nope, Chubby decides not to go for it.
Yeah, Lemon Warrior once again just kind of getting into a rough spot there. Yeah, goodbye.
Okay. This Lux is quite fed. This is what happens when a Lux has gold. But no, W canceled of the Lilia.
Gucci knock. Oh, yeah, goodbye.
Oh,
wait a second. Does actually get away, but once again... ultimates keep being burned defensively, or just champions getting entirely caught out. And that's exactly when things started going wrong in all of the other games for Galactic Warriors. They were not able to actually get things going. I don't think you guys win this fight on the top side. One hand going to use that ultimate and back away.
Ganondorf has 0 mana.
Ganondorf has 0 mana. Stargazer also does no damage. Neither of those champions are going to do damage. And the Rift Herald being burned on the bot side may get a second charge here if they can just escort it in.
Only a little bit further to go, but they back off and do not risk it because the whole team is showing up.
And that's the smart option there, but it does feel bad. As we do kind of check in gold values across the board here. I mean, mid lane, obviously, we kind of expected as much, but every single roll ahead for GSG.
2.3 or 2.2k about being that difference in the mid lane. Quite substantial. And as you talked about, I think in Champ Select, we talked about a possibility of an AP Volibear. That is what we're seeing. But this volley is so squishy.
So squishy, and at this point, not doing damage either.
Yeah.
It feels like this Volibear is not worth a whole lot because part of Volibear's strength is his ability to kind of be a stat stick, for lack of a better term.
Not able to stand up to really anyone on the side of GSG, and it's looking gloom for GW. Looking gloomy, doomy, looking gloom. Zoomies.
I got nothing left.
Yeah, we're just waiting. Biding time, 45 seconds until this dragon. Teams vying for position on it.
Oh, Timic. Nice little pillar, but does not catch Lemon Warrior out. They're going to continue getting that Scuttle Crab, and now 30 seconds until the next dragon. This isn't a huge dragon for either team, but you definitely want to try and get something going here. Oh!
No E.
No,
that could have been massive, but the Gnar.
But it's still a death is for the terms of the fight. They're not getting into it. Liz just ulting in and flashing away. Stargazer getting a lot of charms, but with nothing to show for it. Snugglebutt gonna flash forward, pick up the kill, and all of a sudden, as soon as we said things were even, everything goes topsy-turvy, and GSG keep doing what they've been doing this entire night.
Just smashing, having such a good game across the board for all of these members. One hand maybe letting the team down a bit with getting solo killed twice in lane, but making up for it now. As the snipe comes through from only Magical Girls.
Yeah, they get a double kill now. Gnar into the tower. Ganondorf not able to get away. Will eventually fall. No, does eventually, but very, very elongated there. And slow will hit. There is no lilting lullaby. Coochie Captain watches the inhibitor go down as GSG are going to back away and possibly look for this Baron or a pick.
This isn't very important, but I saw one hand's angle, how they were walking away there. I knew they were going to try to walk into the wall. I don't know if they know it would have made it, but they tried to jump over a much too thick of a wall.
And look, funny. If I was going to say, like, if that's what we're going to be criticizing here, things are going pretty good.
Yeah, things are going pretty good.
If you smack your face into a wall when no one's looking, did it ever make a sound?
So true. But now, only Magical Girls doesn't even have to back to get stronger now. Picks up the Magi's. It's gonna be stacking it up, had the full Dark Seal, and this Lux will actually be one-shotting.
Oh my goodness, Ganondorf couldn't even get the ward there, unfortunately. As we do see blue buff going over, and everything comes down to if these Lux bindings hit. All it takes is one. We've seen it, and it's not even about the kills at that point. It is about getting them out of the fight, unable to make something happen. And so far, it's been nothing but perfection from the Lux.
Ooh. Playing a dangerous game. GSG definitely does not want to commit onto the Baron just yet. They are not super squishy, but they also cannot take it instantly. They're not that fed yet, but now, peeling off, they see all 5 members stacked up in the mid lane. They have some time.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think they're gonna take this down pretty quick.
Okay.
You got a Trundle, you got a Jinx.
Ooh, that's not what we like to see.
Yeah, Trevi Chernobyl going forward. This is the ult, not getting on to everybody there. As you can see, Nerf Snugglebutt having to stay in the back line. Baron is burning onto him. Nerf Snugglebutt having to back away, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the team's already winning. Lemon Warrior unable to make it happen, unable to make things work. And the burn won't take anyone down. Lemon Warrior getting chased away. The Trundle will finish the kill. And they are going to push down this mid lane and try their damnedest to get some Nexus towers.
They have 20 seconds. This should be enough time with the Jinx, especially if they're able to knock that first one down and get excited. So this
5 seconds on Stargazer.
Stargazer needs to just buy time, but not up quick enough. That is the game.
All right. Well, in somewhat anticlimactic fashion, we do see GSG finish the clean sweep as things look to be maybe
I think she hit continue. I didn't hit
going a
continue.
different way, but eventually I hit continue.
Yeah.
I didn't take my own damn advice.
I was sitting here, I was listening to you finish it, and then something cut out.
I hate it here. Oh my goodness. Okay. GSG, they win. They're going to finals. Congratulations. And I mean, in pretty domineering fashion as well,
Yeah.
as we did see them basically only have some slight struggles in game 3 there, as it was going even at best, right? Like, that there is kind of terrifying if you're the team going up against them in the finals of all things.
Yeah. So I don't think the other series has quite wrapped yet. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's not wrapped yet, but they will be facing the winner of BDE versus MIT. So, regardless of the outcome, should be a very exciting finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's finals. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. And I mean, if GSG is playing like this, they are definitely gonna be a favorite there. But that is gonna be it for us tonight. Congrats to GSG. Condolences to Galactic Warriors. And I have Thousand Eyes. That is Michael. We have been productioned by Fritz. Thank you for that. And we will bid you all good night.